start recording this. And pin here for a moment. Okay. Good morning and good afternoon. Both Deb and Connie and Ethan are all on the East Coast. John is out in Hawaii joining us in the morning, and I'm in Oklahoma, so in between. So my initial intention and focus for this class and this week was the topic of building inner strength, right? Cultivating what we call prana, or that vibrancy, that intensity from the inside out to help us move, rather than focusing on muscular strength to hold us up in our poses. And I had this whole story about what I was going to teach, and then I had a conversation with Ethan about it this morning, and I've decided to kind of let go of this idea of strength and talking about inner strength versus our exterior muscular strength. And I've decided just to shift my focus to the physically. We're going to talk about building more stability and awareness in the core, not necessarily focusing on strength, because if we focus on strength versus weakness, then there's this idea that one is better than the other. And this is still something that I'm cultivating within myself, and how to start sharing this in the way that I teach. But I'm beginning to have more of a shift in how I teach. And rather than speaking of these polarities of good, bad, right, wrong, is how can we find this place in between them? How can we find just this acceptance of where we are in each posture and also in life? But there will be times that I will still speak about strength, to give us a guide into what to feel in our bodies. So maybe we just don't have any awareness of what's happening in our core with our breath, with our bodies, beyond the muscular strength that we're used to. So I'm going to guide us, as always, using the breath to maybe allow us to have more awareness of what it feels like to be connected. So yoga itself is about connecting, unifying the mind, the body, the spirit, even the emotions. Because I feel that we oftentimes see these parts as separate, and like we're trying to bring them all together, quiet our minds, more body awareness. But what I really want to begin to start focusing on is how they are all already whole and complete. How we are the mind, we are the body, we are our emotions, and one is not worse or better than the other. But how can we begin to really experience them in the postures? I will focus on the physical aspect today of the core, like we did on Tuesday. So this whole part of our body, from our shoulders down to our hips. So this core area, and not just our core as our abdomen, but how is our core also related to our side bodies, to our transverse abdominals, to our back. So really bringing more awareness and presence into this part of our body is what we will focus on. And then also in that, recognizing the whole, recognizing the yoga, the unification, and the awareness that we were never and are never separate. We are whole and already pure, but sometimes we have to cultivate a deeper awareness of purifying, of strengthening, to recognize that we are pure, or bring that awareness in. And that really ties into my idea of having this class called Fractal Flow, because fractals show us that we're connected. Fractals, it's just like as above, so below, as within, so without. So whatever we're experiencing here inside of us in our minds, we see it happening in the world around us. Or I love the tree example, because I've had stuff with my lungs. So when I'm having issues with my lungs, I like to look at trees and see the branches. And I notice how the trees and the branches also look like my lungs. And so it shows us that we've never been separate, and we're always connected. So, yep, that's what class is going to be about today. And we'll continue to, build upon that as time goes. To begin, today we are going to lay on our backs. If you have a blanket, I'm going to go ahead and switch the pictures here. All right, let's pin a different video. So if you have a blanket, go ahead and grab that. So when we begin to talk about strengthening our core, it's really important that we strengthen it in the best alignment that we can. And sometimes when we try to strengthen, say, the upper body, which I'll focus on a little bit today, if we do it in a way where the tension in our chest, if we have this tension right here and we're trying to do push-ups or strengthen, it's repeating that pattern of misalignment, and it could cause damage, say, in the rotator cuff, here in the shoulder joint. So what we're going to do today is we're going to start by just opening the shoulders and starting with more of a yin, relaxed pose. And how we will do that is we're going to roll up the blanket. If you have one, if you don't, it's totally fine. And you're going to lay on it along the spine. You can also use a bolster or a pillow. Bring your sacrum up against the blanket and lay along the spine. Your head may be relaxed back. I would suggest, if you can, having your head lifted. If this doesn't work for you, then you can try something else or just lay on the ground. If you lay on the ground, maybe put the arms into cactus arms. And this is where we will begin our meditation today. So really connecting to the core, which is the hips, right here, the hip points, even the pelvis, up into the clavicles, the shoulders right here. And then just allow yourself to settle. Allow the words that I've just been spoken to integrate and to land. And one of the key elements to help guide us into this deeper awareness of self, of interconnectedness, is the breath. So begin to notice how the breath moves through the body. Feeling the shoulder blades dropping down towards the earth, feeling the heart, the chest open. Your feet can be long, or if you'd like, they can also come up. The knees can come up and maybe nod in together. And then shifting the awareness from the breath to the sounds outside your space, maybe inside the room. Allowing your hearing to track the sounds, but do your best to not identify what you're hearing. Allowing the sounds to be a happening and experience, including my voice. And then bringing that awareness closer in into the body. Taking a quick scan of the body from the head all the way down to your feet. And just noticing how you're feeling today in this moment. And allowing yourself to land in a place of complete and full acceptance, not needing to change anything about yourself, about how you feel. And see if in that you can recognize your wholeness. One more big deep breath here. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And then exhale out the mouth, a sigh. All right, 2 more of those together. Inhale, breathe in deep. Expand the belly, the ribs, lift the chest, open. And exhale all the air out of the lungs, out of the mouth. One more time, inhale, lifting. Exhale out the mouth. And back to the natural breath. And then placing the soles of the feet on the ground and roll to one side. If you have a prop, just so you can remove it, just place it next to your mat so maybe you can grab it if you need it again. And then place the knees together, feet wide. We're going to put our hands on our hip bones, maybe even placing on your belly and your heart. And connecting to the core, where all your organs are, your heart is, one of your organs, but to this central body. And begin to deepen the breath. So as you inhale, really lifting the breath to your capacity without struggle. So if you have to really struggle, then maybe don't inhale as deeply, but just inhale enough to where we expand the belly, the ribs, upper ribs, and also pressing into the back, into the ground. And then as you exhale, all the air out. And when you exhale all the air out, lift the pelvic floor slightly. So inhaling, expanding. Exhale, release. Doing that a few more times on your own, churning up the energy in the core and the belly and the chest, really expanding your capacity to breathe, expanding your ability to connect. Good. And then from here, placing the hands on the hips, walking the feet together, we're going to bring in some subtle core awareness. So some of us are used to doing really intense core work, but for the work we're going to do today, we're going to bring awareness to the subtle engagements that happen. So to do that, we're just going to lift our toes off the ground. Knees are going to go towards the sky. Slight curve in the low back, hands on the belly. Right now you probably feel your belly pushing up a little bit. And we're going to inhale here in the center. Exhale, tap the right toes down to the ground. And then bring it back up and switch. Left and right. So just do that a few times, taking it slow. Feeling the slight engagement of the low belly. Cultivating a deeper awareness of what it feels like to engage the muscles around the hips. Maybe you even notice your body shaking, which is curious. I like to believe that when your body starts to shake, it's learning. Our body is learning something new. Our body is releasing stuck, stagnant energy, which can also show up as repressed emotions. Good. Now bringing both knees up this time. Hands come underneath the seat, palms to the ground. Reaching the feet towards the sky, flexing the toes, heels come together. We're going to inhale here. Exhale, bring the feet down about 60 degrees. Then bring them down a little bit lower. And then we're going to have the heels hover a few inches off the ground. So see if you can cultivate that deep presence with breath and still hold the legs above the ground, off the ground. Your body may be shaking, but deepening the breath here. One more big deep breath. And then slowly bring the heels down to touch the ground. Relax the shoulders. Inhale, lift the right foot up. Exhale, bring the heel down. Inhale, left comes up. Down. One more time each side. Right leg. Down. Left. And then inhale, lift the heels up, squeeze the heels together. Bring the feet up, perpendicular to the ground. And then bending the knees. We're going to inhale here at center, reach the arms out to a T. Exhale, knees are going to go to the left. Look to the right, hover the knees off the ground. Stay here for a few breaths, really pulling the belly in. And then inhaling through center. Exhale, look to the left, knees come to the right. Let the knees hover a few inches off the ground. Churning the fire in the belly. And then inhale, coming through center. Pull the knees into the chest. Give yourself a nice squeeze. Begin to roll the knees out and in just a few times, relaxing the toes. And then as we pull our knees in, we're going to rock, cross the ankles, come to a comfortable seat. And then from this seat, we're just going to walk our hands underneath the shoulders, toes together, knees wide. Reach the arms out into child's pose. So forehead comes to the ground. If you're feeling any strain in the neck, you can always use a blanket or a block underneath your head. Same with your knees. You could put the blanket under your knees, or you could even put the blanket in between the calves and the thighs. So play around some different options that might feel good for your body. In this position, what we really want to focus on, again, is breathing deep into the belly, really pressing the belly out, seeing how much space you can crawl yourself into. And then as you exhale, pulling and pulling that energy in and up. So as we inhale, it's like a piston. We'll inhale, we press the diaphragm down, press the energy down. And then as you exhale, pull that energy up. You might engage the pelvic floor and lift. So do that a few times here in your child's pose. Breathing up underneath the armpits into the arms. Belly button comes in and up slightly to the spine. And hips are heavy towards the heels. One more breath in this posture. And then looking between the hands, before you move, just set your gaze, your focus, your intention where you like to go. And then next inhale, coming up into tabletop position. Shoulders are over the hands, hips are over your knees, your toes can be flexed or pointed, your choice. And just settling into this posture here just for a moment. Feeling the belly soften, breathing along the spine. And then we're going to do shoulder girdle push-ups. So I'm going to focus a little bit on chaturanga preparatory postures. So we are stronger in our planks and stronger in our chaturanga. So to first do that, let's bring awareness to the shoulder girdle. So we'll retract the shoulder, bringing the shoulder blades together to kiss on the back. Heart goes down. In this position, you're going to forget what you do in cat-cow and keep that low belly lifted. So just in the shoulders. Heart goes down between the biceps. Press and round, protract the shoulders. Just do that a few times. Feeling the shoulder, the serratus wrapping around. And then if you want to go a little further, you can always press into the toes and lift the knees off the ground, and then just do shoulder girdle push-ups. See if you can isolate the movement just in the shoulders. Strengthening the shoulders, the arms. Extend out the crown of the head. And then place the knees down. Inhale, look up. Tucking the chin. Exhale, pressing around, seat to heels. Staying here in your extended child's pose. Taking a few moments, if there is any personal intention that you'd like to bring into this class, bring that in now or at any point during the practice. And then inhale, coming into your tabletop, flex your toes, and we're just going to lift our hips up and back, downward facing dog. Pressing the ground away. You need to bend into the right knee and the left knee. Feeling to what feels best for your body right now. What movements you need to take. And then if you can, come into stillness here for a moment. And once again, connect to that core. Breathe along the length of the spine. Inhale, press the diaphragm down, expand the breath. Exhale, pull the energy up from the pelvic floor. Belly button comes into spine. Now look between your hands. Inhale, shoulders come over the wrists. So strong here in your plank position. Press the earth away, squeeze the arms in. And pull the heart through. So keeping the low belly lifted, pulling the heart. Engage the muscles of the legs and stay here for a breath or two. That inner awareness that we are creating here with the breath. And then placing the knees down. From this position, come to sit on the heels. So when we do our chaturanga, some of the important points are to keep the shoulders away from the ears. And we also want to bring our elbows in the best we can to graze the ribs. If we do chaturanga and we cannot do this, it's best if we bring our knees down until we've built enough strength to do it without our knees. That's what I meant. Okay, cool. So reaching the arms out, pressing away, protracting the shoulders. And then bending the elbows in, kissing the shoulder blades on the back, hands come towards the chest. So this is what it'll look like when we're going to come into our chaturanga. So press away and plank, bend the elbows, squeeze, really engage, pull the elbows back. Okay, I want to do this first before we're weight bearing. So you get the idea. Pressing away, protract the shoulders, inhale, and then we'll exhale, bring the elbows back. Let's do that one more time. And then belly button spine. Good. Relax the arms, shake them out. And let's reach our arms forward. Coming into tabletop, we're going to do it with our knees. Pulling the heart through. Inhale here, press. Exhale, bend the elbows. Press back up. Inhale. Exhale, bend the elbows, graze the ribs. One more time, press up. This time come all the way down. Graze the elbows, come all the way down to the ground. Maybe press your hips back. Forehead's going to come onto the ground. And then tops of the hands are going to come on the top of the sacrum. And then palms towards the sky. So forehead to the ground. Take a few moments here to breathe along the spine. The core also includes the back body. So we're going to strengthen the back body in this next posture, the posterior chain. We're going to exhale here on the ground. And then inhale, lift the chest up, lift the arms up. Exhale, forehead comes to the ground. Next time, inhale, lift the chest, lift the left arm, reach out of the left fingers. And then exhale, left hand comes back, left cheek goes down, look to the right. Inhale, reach right arm up. Reach out of the hips. Exhale, look to the left, right cheek comes down. Next time, inhale, reach both arms up, look down at the ground. Exhale, look to the right, hands come to the sacrum. Now this last time, if you can, reach the arms up and the legs, really reach out of the feet and the fingers. If this is too much for you, you can always bring your hands down next to the chest or even interlace them at your sacrum. But we're gonna stay here for a few breaths, really cultivating that inner awareness. Big breath, press the ground, the belly into the ground as you inhale, and exhale, pull the belly button to the spine. Then place the toes down, the knees down, place the hands down. Inhale, press and lift into your cobra. Exhale, tap the forehead. This time, inhale, press and lift your hips up, come through tabletop. Bend the knees, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. And then from this position, we're gonna inhale, look between the hands, come onto the toes. Exhale, bend the knees, and we're gonna walk heel to toe. So really lift the feet off the ground into the hips. As best you can, walking to a forward fold. If you're challenged in the hamstrings or the hips or the low back, blocks are awesome to use here. So bring those next to your mat if you need them. But first, we're gonna start in our forward fold, pretty good bend in the knees. And extend the hips and the tailbone and sit bones back as your spine melts over the legs. Really breathe a big breath into the back of the ribs and the back body. Breathing into the belly, feel that cultivation of the breath, the prana, known as life force in the Indian culture. Prana doesn't just represent breath, but it represents all the fluids that move through the body. The breath, the energy, the blood, the electricity. Good. Now inhaling halfway lift here. Hands come on the shins or on blocks, your choice. So no matter where you're at, a slight bend in the knee, flat back. And pull the mat away with the feet. You'll feel an opening in the glutes, and then the thighs, you feel an engagement right here. So pressing into the ground or the blocks or your shins, take a nice big deep breath, expand. And then exhaling, forward fold. This time, inhale, arms out to a T, press the feet, reach the arms towards the sky, up and back. Exhaling, hands to the heart, closing the eyes. Taking a moment here to settle back in to this posture, to this moment. Connecting to that unification and that acceptance of all that you are and all that you've ever been. And then hands are gonna come on the hamstrings, right underneath your booties. And we're gonna inhale, shoulders come back, chest goes up. Exhale, bend at the knees, hinge at the hips. Your hands trace down the back of your legs, forward fold. Inhale, hands come up halfway. Reach out the crown of the head. Exhaling, forward fold. This time, inhales, flat back all the way up, hands stay at the hamstrings. And then we're gonna take it back down, exhaling, forward fold. Again, inhale, halfway lift. Extend out the crown of the head. Exhale, belly button to spine, forward fold. Last time, inhale all the way up, lead with the heart. This time, reach the arms to the sky. Exhaling, hands to the heart. Reaching the hands up, inhale. Exhale, left hand down, right arm up and over. Inhaling through center. Switching sides, reaching out of that left hip this time. And then inhale, hands come up to the sky, reach up and back with an arch. And then hands come to the heart. So in this next pose, we're gonna flow a little bit into our crescent lunge. So leaning the weight into your right foot, finding that stability and that grounding balance. Lift the left leg towards the chest. Feeling the transverse abdominis, the core engaging here. We're gonna inhale here with our hands next to our hips. And exhale, step the left foot back, reach the arms up. Really reach out of that left heel. Inhale, hands to the hips, lift the left knee. Press into the earth. Exhale, reach the arms up. 2 more times on your own. Slow, like you're moving through water, like you are water. Expanding the awareness out and then pulling it in. Once you come back up to balancing on your right leg, bring the hands to the hips. We're gonna inhale here, lean into that left foot, tilt to the right, and reach the left foot back to the back of the mat, coming into warrior 2 alignment. So right heel bisects the midline of the left First thing you do, we're just going to hang out here with our arms down. Really feel the engagement and the connection of the feet. We have to start from the ground up, so make sure that we are rooted. And then lifting the arms up, coming into a T, reaching out of the shoulders. So let it be soft, right? We're not going to really intensely squeeze our muscles. We're just going to extend and reach out of the fingers. Getting familiar with what this warrior two position feels like. This thigh will rotate out, externally rotate. Bending into the knee, the right knee tracks towards the right toes. And from this position, we're going to go into an extended side angle. So what I want you to do to begin is bringing the right hand on the right knee, getting this left hand and reaching it to the sides of the ribs, which the area we also where the serratus anterior or the serratus exist. So we're going to pull that shoulder blade underneath. So we're going to have that wrapping happening here first. And once you feel that wrapping, keep the space you feel as much as you can right here. And then bring the right elbow down. So feel that wrapping happening. Press into the knee, reach out the left heel, then you can reach this left arm up and over. A lot of things happening here to be aware of. So how present can you be in all the little things that are happening? Our microcosm in our body. But really reach, expand the breath. And then from this position, you're going to inhale and extend the left hand back, palm to the sky, and let that lift you up, that left hand. And then we're going to reach the right arm up and back. This is our reverse warrior. Reaching up out of the right hip. If this is too challenging for you, you can always straighten the knee. And then we all will straighten the knee together. Maybe keep a slight bend in the knee, especially if you're hypermobile. And this right arm's going to reach forward, reach. This is where you might want to block. I love having a block here to help. Pressing into the ground, rotating that left hip open. And this right arm, this is actually the left arm, it's going to go up and over. Then sweep this left arm parallel to the ground, reach out of the shoulder joint, and then feel that shoulder, the humerus, go back into the shoulder joint. And then from there, reaching the left arm up and over. Full body breath here. Front body, back body, side bodies. Good. And then left arm goes to the sky, look to the ground, rotate on the left toes, and bring that left hand on the inside of the right foot. From here, just take a really nice, gentle spinal twist. Right arm goes towards the sky, keeping the connection in the legs. Press out the left heel. Open the heart. And then planting that left hand, right hand down. From here, we're in a low lunge. Send the right foot back to the left. And then hips come up and back, downward facing dog. Bending into the knees, maybe get a little bounce here, shake the legs out, shake the neck. Full breath. And then inhale, come to plank. Your choice here to invite the knees in if you need to, or if you already feel strong enough, you don't need the knees down. Inhaling here, and then exhale, bending the knees. Chaturanga or modified chaturanga. Toes come down, hips come down, lift the heart up into up dog or cobra. And then from here, lift from the low belly, hips come up and back, downward facing dog. Inhaling, look between the hands. Your choice this time if you want to hop or walk. Really lift the hips, heel to toe, to the front of the mat. Bending the knees, relax the neck out. Inhaling, lift halfway. Exhaling, forward fold. Hands on the backs of the heels if you'd like to pull yourself closer to the legs and get a deeper stretch. And then inhale, lift halfway. Really tuck the chin in, press the back of the head back as you reach out the crown of the head. And then exhaling, forward fold. Arms come out into a T like wings. Press into the feet. Inhale, reach towards the sky. Hands to the heart, close the eyes. Place the hands next to the hips. Roll the shoulders back a bit. And then roll forward. Shake out the wrists and the arms, and then come into stillness. Expanding the awareness out of the space in the room, and then bringing the awareness back to the subtle pulsing of the heart. Relax the jaw, relax the mind, drop the awareness into the core, the heart, the belly, the lungs. And then inhaling, sweeping the arms up. Hands come to the heart once again, and then place it next to the hips. Lean into the left foot this time, finding your balance here. And if it helps with balance, I sometimes like to visualize my feet as roots in a tree, going down and finding and grabbing the root and rising from that place. So feeling the body rise out of the ground, like you and the ground are one and you are not separate. And lift that right knee in and up. Hands next to the hips. Inhaling here, reach out the crown of the head. Keep that lift. As you exhale, just extend the right foot back. Sweep the arms up. Inhale here, lift the right knee, lift the spine. Exhale, reach up. 2 more on your own. Next inhale, stay here. Hands come to the hip, feeling the chest lift, open. Lean to the left, reaching this right foot all the way to the back of the mat, coming into warrior 2. Settling in here, feeling the opening in the hips. You want the thigh to laterally or externally rotate, as we say in yoga. This left knee is tracking in the same direction of the left toes. So your knee might have a tendency to want to knob in. Press that left knee back. Once you feel strong and stable in your warrior 2, inhale, lift the arms up. Feel and experience yourself in this pose. Good. Press into that right heel a little bit more, the outside of the right foot. And then from this position, bringing the left hand to the left knee. Right hand comes and wraps and grabs towards the left shoulder, pulling the left shoulder down and around to create more of an opening here. Once you feel that wrapping underneath, bring that left elbow down. Press the left elbow into the left knee. Reach the right arm up and over. If you want to get a little more awareness in the shoulder here, you can do this reaching out, right arm parallel, locking the right shoulder in, and then sweeping the right arm up and over. Placing your gaze in any direction ahead of you, or maybe down, or possibly up towards the sky. Breathing deep in this posture. And this time we're going to inhale, reach the right arm up and back, palm to the sky, reach out of the shoulder. And then from here, you're going to sweep this left arm up and back. Right hand comes down, reverse your warrior here. So one step further you can is wrapping the right hand behind the low back into a bound reverse warrior, Virabhadrasana 2. And then from here, inhale, straightening that left leg, reaching the left hand forward, placing that left hand on the block or your shin, reaching the right arm up and away. Same, choose the gaze wherever you'd like to go. Press into that right heel. Open this right hip even more. Pull the belly button to the spine, knit the ribs in. And then bend into the left knee, bring the right hand on the inside of the left foot. Come up onto the right toes, and then reach the left arm towards the sky. Come into a subtle twist here. And then place the left hand down, framing the left foot. Your choice here, extend the left foot back to the right. If you want to come into a full chaturanga, you can. Slowly bending the elbows, lifting the low belly. Keeping that heart pulling through. Toes come down, hips come down. If you want to go to up dog, hips are lifted off the ground, straightening the arms. And then lifting the low belly up and back, coming to downward facing dog. Now, if you've lost the breath and the awareness of the deep breath, bring that back in this moment. And then let's inhale the right leg into the sky. Roll the ankle, bend the knee, open the hip. Let's do a few rolls here with the ankle in one direction and then the other. And then inhale, reach the foot up and back, square the hips. Exhale, bring that left knee in through the midline and place it between the hands. So from here, we're going to come into a warrior one position. So bring that left foot up and out, 45 degrees, 30-degree rotation of the left ankle. Bending into the right knee, the right toes go forward. Press yourself up. So if you're feeling a little bit of an issue in the sacrum low back here, you might want to open the legs. Coming into our warrior one position. Hands come together, interlace the fingers. You're gonna inhale, press the earth away, press the palms away. And the exhale, you're just gonna release the hands down. 4 more times like that, really focusing on the inhale, the piston, the diaphragm going down, the exhale pulling the energy in. So 4 more times, inhale, reach up. Exhale. Not only expanding the breath, but expanding your awareness. And then exhale, shifting that awareness back into the body. And then stay with your arms up. Release the fingers, reach out of the hips. And then exhale, bring the hands down, walk the right foot to the middle of the mat. And your choice, if you want to take a vinyasa, you can. This is our vinyasa for chaturanga, with the knees or not, up dog or cobra. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Go ahead and sweep the left foot up into the sky. Roll the ankle, bend the knee, open the hip. Do a couple of rounds in one direction and the other. Inhale, straighten the left leg, reach out of that left heel. Exhale, bring the left foot all the way in between the hands. Walk the left foot out to the left. Bring that right foot up, warrior one feet. Press yourself up, lift. Send out the crown of the head. Pressing down and lifting happening simultaneously. Interlacing the fingers the opposite direction than you do the other side, so probably the side that feels funky. And then we're going to inhale, press down to the ground, press out the fingers. Exhale. 4 more times. Really press and lift, expand. Last time. Press, reach, 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 reach. Release the fingers. Soften the shoulders. And then exhale, framing the left foot, walk the left foot to the middle of the mat. Sending the left foot back to meet the right. Bringing the knees down, seat to heels, child's pose. Forehead can come to the ground or next to the hips. Allowing the breath to settle, the mind to soften. And then look between the hands. We're going to inhale, look up. Exhale, seat to heels, tuck the chin all the way back. Few more of these. Inhale, pull the heart through, lift up. Exhale, seat to heels. Tailbone, belly, look. Tuck the chin, round the back, seat to heels. And this last time, inhale, look up. Exhale, coming to a neutral position in your tabletop. Bend the left toes, bring the left foot out to the left, and extend the right foot out, reach the left arm close together. Or it would be your right arm. Reaching the right arm up, pressing into that right heel, pardon the interruption. If this hurts the knee, you can always bring that left foot underneath the right, coming into a plank. Using this right hand to grab underneath the serratus and the shoulder blade, pull it down towards the hips and wrap it around, then reach back up. Squeeze the feet together, lift the hips. Stoking the fire, breathing, pulling the energy in, expanding it out. And then place the right hand down, bring the knees down, take a cat-cow here. And then coming back into neutral, other side this time, bend the right toes come out, and then extend the left foot. So this may be where you stay. This might be your first position where you want to stay. If you would like some more, reaching that right foot underneath the left, and then doing your best to make sure that the shoulder and the arm bone are locked in here together. And wrap the shoulder blade underneath the body. Reach towards the sky, pressing the earth away. Squeeze the heels together, flex the toes, engage the legs. And then place the left hand down. From here, coming onto the elbows, interlacing the fingers. Or if you'd like, you can plant the forearms down. We're coming into dolphin. So if you're like, I'm done, you can always take a child's pose, listening to your body first and foremost. If you don't want to do this, do something else. If you want to keep going with me, we are going to plant the palms down, squeeze in, pressing around the upper back. So feel that protraction and retraction of the shoulder girdle here, shoulder blades together, then press and open. Find a neutral position between those two. Flex the toes, then lift the hips. And then walk the feet towards the elbows slowly. Let the heart melt towards the feet. And relax the neck, the jaw. And then from here, keeping the stability in the shoulders, we're going to inhale, lift our right foot up, and lift it till you can't lift anymore, and you come onto the left toes. Press into the ground, reach out of the right heel, and then place it back down. Other side. You feel your arms fatiguing, press and breathe even deeper, lifting up. Side. 2 more times each side, inhale, lift up. If you have forearm stand in your practice, you could lift the feet up. But staying strong in the elbows and the arms. And then when you're ready, walk your feet back, bring the belly down, coming into Sphinx. Taking a moment here to just collect if you've built the energy up. Bring it back down, connecting with the earth. If you want, you can go ahead and lay on the belly completely without involving the arms. If you'd like more, bringing the palms out, lifting the chest, opening the anterior body, the front side of the body. Let's all inhale together, inhale. Exhale, stick your tongue out. 2 more. Inhale, breathe into the pelvis all the way up to the chest. And then exhale, tongue out. Last time, breathe through your whole body. Good. Slowly coming all the way down to the ground. Pressing yourself up through tabletop and coming to kneel. So we're going to take just a moment to rest here in this posture. Hands come into the lap, close the eyes, and just notice. Don't try and change anything, just see what's happening inside you and around you, noticing how you are connected and maybe even affected by everything that's happening. Just become aware beyond a place of judgment, allowing yourself to rest here in this place. The breath has built up a little bit, letting it settle, soften. Good. So from here, we're just gonna go ahead and make our way down to our seat. Scoot your booty forward towards your heels and just walk yourself down onto your back. What we're gonna do is cross the right ankle over the left, coming into a figure 4 here on the ground. You may want to press the right knee away, or maybe you just want to bring the left knee towards the chest. Keeping the right toes flexed though, but relaxing the hips down, relaxing the head and the shoulders. If it's in your practice, you can extend the left leg, maybe reach up towards the left calf. But see if you can keep the hips on the ground while doing this. Instead of lifting the hips up and reaching and straining, let the hips be heavy. Or maybe you can even reach your toe, again, without strain. And then place the left foot down, cross the right knee over the left, and then just shift the knees to the left, coming into a spinal twist. Right arm just reaches out of the right shoulder joint. Let the shoulders be heavy. We've done some strength, some work in the shoulders, so let them be open. There's PBJ. She's coming to join us. If the twist in the knees is too much, you can always just stack the knees on top of each other. And then slowly engaging the core, inhale, lift the knees through center. Place the right knee down, right foot down, and then switch sides. Left ankle crosses the right knee. Same as the other side, you can stay here, this might be enough for you, or grab behind the right hamstrings, flexing the left toes. Placing the right foot down this time, crossing the knees, bringing the knees over to the right into a spinal twist. Then using the core, slightly engaged, lift the hips up. Plant the soles of the feet down, hands next to the hips. Inhale, press the tailbone into the ground. Exhale, hips up, arms come up. Inhale, come down. Hips down, hands down. Press into the ground. Inhale, reach, reach, reach. Inhaling, hips come down. Exhale, reach. Stay here as you inhale. Stay here as you exhale. Lift the hips. Then sweep the hands underneath the sacrum, interlacing the fingers, pressing the ground away, lift the hips high. Bringing the hands underneath the hips. If it feels good to you, if not, then just choose something else. And then inhale, lift the right leg in the sky, just for a moment. Exhale, bring the right foot down. Replace the right foot back where it was. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, tap it down. Reach out that left heel, then replace it. Releasing the hands and slowly coming down one vertebrae at a time. Extending the legs out wide, coming into Shavasana. If there's any other posture that your body would like before coming into this final resting pose, you can choose to take that now. Otherwise, just let the body drop. Allow the toes to drop out, the arms to rotate out, the eyeballs to melt into the back of the head. And just once again noticing what's shifted. Noticing how you feel and experience this pose. It's so important when we are moving a lot during our day to allow ourselves to have these moments of stillness more often than we probably can or allow or choose to. Nothing to do and nowhere to be but here in this spaciousness. This place of full acceptance, oneness. Choosing to be here. That in the moments we may get distracted and forget that we are this unified whole. And in those moments, choosing to reconnect to the breath, to this moment. To just being okay exactly how you are, where you are. Giving yourself permission to rest. Giving yourself permission to feel and experience the wholeness. Experience all of you, all the parts of you that you may have thought were not lovable or not good. And instead of turning away from the bad and only facing the good, enjoyable things, see if you can find that space between the good and bad and rest in acceptance and openness and receptivity to all parts of you and this life. Shifting the awareness now, if you can, listening to sounds, feeling maybe heat, colds, different textures, Maybe air on the skin. Maybe feeling the breath coming out of the nose. Just noticing the sensations without identifying them, just allowing them to exist as they are. And then begin to bring some gentle movement back into your body, but maybe taking it a little bit slower than you normally would, taking the time to feel each movement. Allowing the breath to deepen and really expand into all the corners of your body. Maybe into those dark corners and areas you haven't felt before, where tension has been held that maybe now is open. And then once you've moved the fingers, the toes, reaching the arms overhead, really reaching the full length of your body. Maybe opening the jaw, sticking the tongue out, taking a nice big sigh out the mouth. Maybe a few more of those, just really releasing any tension that you might still be holding. There's always more, we're continuing to relax, softening. It's a process. It keeps going. And then after you've done that, bring the knees into the chest, rolling, rocking right to left along the spine, maybe with a little bit less tension in the body and in the mind. Coming to one side or the other, resting there for a breath. And then when you're ready, slowly pressing yourself back up to a comfortable seat, cross-legged, or in any other position that feels good to you. With the eyes closed and the mind and the jaw soft, hands come onto the knees. And once again, in this stillness, just witness yourself. Notice. And doing this more and more and realizing that we are already whole as we are. Yoga is the remembering that we are connected, not only within ourselves, but also with the world around us. And the more we cultivate this stillness within, the more we will see it reflected out in our daily lives. So reaching the arms up towards the sky, inhale, big breath, opening the lungs, hands come to the heart, exhale. 2 more times like that on your own. Thumbs to the sternum, lifting the heart, connecting to that place, dropping the mind and the heart if it's started to drift off into the next thing. See if you can just rein it back in for this couple more moments. Let's all join in the sound of Om together. So exhale all the air out of your lungs, lifting the pelvic floor slightly. Expand the breath, inhale to Om. From the belly. Om. Thank you all for practicing with me today, this fractal flow class. light in me, all of me, the lightness and the dark, all of who I am, sees you, respects you, honors you, and loves you. Namaste. Thank you, guys. How are you feeling? How was that for you, Deb?
That's good.
A little stronger, faster?
Yeah, it's good.
Awesome. And you guys, if there's anything that comes up during class that you have questions about, we can always connect one-on-one. Just let me know. If there's anything you'd like a little more instruction on or support with, like we can workshop it together. Because I know in class with multiple people, sometimes it's hard to do that, but I really want to connect with each person individually to support your practice, like going forward. Yeah, so always open to any reflections, and you guys all know my information, so let me know. Thank you, Nazli.
Well, thanks, Chelsea.
Thank you, Connie. You guys have an awesome day.
You too.
I love you.
Bye.
Bye. So yeah, then. Oh, she's gone. Everyone's gone. Bye, Imelda. Mahalo, Imelda. Thank you for showing up. I love you. And thank you, Imelda, for your donation. I really appreciate it. And let's talk together sometime. Maybe we could do a Skype, me and you, or a Zoom.